What's up, everybody? It's your favorite scalper's favorite nerd. Today we are looking at Mastermind Creations Azalea TFcon Chicago exclusive repaint, reformatted. Somebody get me a book of adjectives. I'm sure I can add some more. She's pretty sought after now. I'm glad I picked her up kind of because of that, but it was kind of an impulse buy. She was flying off. Like, this guy had a box open, and I mean, he couldn't keep them in his hand long enough. Like, he'd take one out of the box, it was going in somebody else's hand. And I didn't know exactly what it was. I just got stressed out and got one. It was a lot like, what are those things? Why do I not know what that is? I don't even know what character that's supposed to be. They're selling like hotcakes, though. Do I need that? $75. I just got the pink one. They're selling so many. They're going so fast. Father, please. But anyway, I'm glad I got her just to, for the chance to take a look at her, because it doesn't look like she's going to be easy to come by. But a lot like the other one, except the colors are different, and there's a lot more color. There's gray, white, blue, silver, orange, and then the translucent orange, and then the yellowish orange. So there's a lot more color going on with her. She's a lot more visually interesting. She's still super small. Just to give you an idea, there she is next to X-Transbot's wheelie. And it would help if you could actually see that, right? So she's about the same size as Wheelie. So she's tiny. There's no getting around it in this mode anyway. So yeah, without further ado, let's transform her. I would compare her to the other one in bot form, but I'm not transforming her back to this mode. And after I transform this one, I will never transform these ever again. I don't really enjoy it. So if this is your first time watching one of my videos, I always transform stuff the way that it comes in box, just to kind of help maybe walk you through it. It's not that I'm an expert at it. Trust me, I'm not. It's just that, maybe if you get hung up somewhere, it would help you. The only time I make an exception is when I have multiple toys of the same mold. So if you want to go from bot to vehicle, look at my Arcee one, or the proper Azalea, and this one we're going to go the other way. So we'll start with the accessories. We'll take off this bit down here at the bottom, which I do like. I do like how it makes her stand and all that, like in both modes. Take off her swords. And those swords can really go on either way, just as an FYI, depending on, your sensibilities. How you like it. I just like it kind of with another layer of orange up at the top. And then unclip these guns. They clip in right there. And there this is. Now, excuse me, what I suggest is that you unpeg these and just get them out of the way. You can open up her legs a little bit, so to speak. This one doesn't stick together as well as the other one. I'm not exactly sure why, but yeah. Also, if you didn't watch the Azalea one, I do it with this hand holding the peg here sideways as opposed to up and down, and that allows you to plug in the calf into the thigh, which is kind of how it seems like it's supposed to go, even though the directions don't say to do so. So now it's just a matter of kind of loosening everything up and getting everything out. The hands peg in here, and it's a nightmare, so forgive me if it's not clear. So unpeg the hands, and there's a tight. The tolerances are extremely. There's not a lot of wiggle room. Bring the legs down, and you can kind of get the legs squared away at this point. Now you got to kind of bring her head out of her. You know how they say, get your head out of your ass? Well, now's your chance. And then you gotta rotate that assembly up. peg that headpiece in. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Unpeg the arms there. Bring these back in. And I did it with the flap up just to kind of show off that, because I think in the other one I usually have it down. And yeah, that's basically it. And then we can armor up a little bit with the accessories and so forth. This is one of the accessories. It's the stand, and it pegs into the back here, and it kind of keeps her from taking a tumble. And then swords. And I think what I'm going to do with her is I'm going to put guns in her hand. Bring the pistol down. The pistol grip. And these are kind of a metallic paint like the other ones were. They're silver, and the mold itself is, as you can see, is identical. So there's really nothing new here except for the color. Alright. So then the swords peg in, and you can peg the guns in here also, but they peg in right here, and you know, and then you can take them up if you wanted to, just to kind of break up the look of them. I mean, it's kind of a bit long to kind of have, you know, on the humble, so to speak, but. And then plug this one. You can also plug the guns into these pegs if you wanted the back kind of holsters, but you know, there that is, and you know, there she is. So of course all the articulation is going to be the same, but we'll go through it. Head's on a limited ball joint. You got a double ball jointed shoulder with one ball joint in the base and then another ball joint in the shoulder itself. Double hinged elbows, which gets you everything you could possibly want, and a wrist swivel. You got a limited ball joint kind of deal in the diaphragm. You got another one in the hip, and I guess this like the waist. Your hips are on ball joints. You can kind of get a little side to side if you want to get crazy with that little swivel hinge there, and then you have a thigh swivel. Oh, you have a bicep swivel as well. I always forget to mention that. Double jointed knees, and then ankle tilt and, well, let me show you on this one. Ankle tilt and rocker. Extremely, extremely, extremely articulated, which is kind of her saving grace. This one they did paint the lips, which is a little frustrating. You know, makes Arcee just a little bit more frustrating. And we'll do some just some size comparisons real quick. There she is next to Arcee, and it is kind of cool seeing these molds together. You know, there is something kind of rewarding about that. There's the eye gear one, and I gotta tell you, I mean, the eye gear one is definitely dated, but it's not horrible. It's really not. If you want to just kind of generally laugh at Hasbro's way of doing business, there she is towering over Megatron. So there's always that. Okay, so my final thoughts are pretty much the same as the other one. It's just that this one has much more of a color breakup. The color is much more interesting. It's much more dynamic. It presents itself better than the Arcee one, which is really a shame because it's Arcee, right? you know, it's not fun. It's a fun toy, but it's not a fun Transformer, like I said before. It's cool. I got it for 75 bucks. I'm happy I have it. It's kind of a souvenir to remember TFcon. I will say that one of my legs, I can't remember which one it was now, when they put the pin in, we're thinking that the pin was probably too hot, and it melded the plastic, so I didn't have full range of motion in my knee. One knee hinge like wouldn't bend, so I took the pin out, and that broke up the plastic that had melded to it, and then I put it back in. Now it works fine. So if you have that problem, I can talk you through it, but not that I'm some kind of expert or anything, but you know, I can tell you what worked for me, and then hopefully it'll work for you if you have the same problem, because I did. I was pretty irritated, and when I took it apart, I could see that I had almost broken the knee hinge just by trying to be a little heavy-handed. So yeah, it's not great. It's cool. I'm glad I have it, more so for the memory of the show than anything else, but yeah, a little let down by this mold. Like I said in the Arcee one, there is a lot of posability with this toy. It is fun to mess with as an action figure, just not so much as a Transformer, which I believe is probably getting pretty redundant now. But there's a lot of love into this paint and this figure. Like, there's black lines around the yellow inner eyes. It's hard to pick up here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it or not, but yeah. I don't know. Can you see that? It's in there. You know, little details like that are not lost on me. Like, I'm an aesthetics person, so I definitely appreciate that. But it's just not what I want. It's kind of a pain in the sensitive area. Yeah, this thing is going for like 150 on up, and don't spend that kind of money on this. It's not worth it. I'm telling you, it is not worth it. I got mine for 75, and I kind of feel like I got taken for a ride. Do you know what I mean? This is $100 or less kind of figure in order for it to pay off for you, I would imagine, unless you just got more money than sense, in which case send me $20. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.